I want to talk a little bit about the impact that the stories we tell ourselves have on our lives. Because when we tell ourselves a story about what we're capable of doing, it usually is going to be repeated in our mind and our thoughts. And because of that, it's going to become a belief. And beliefs are what we filter the whole world through. We don't see the world as it is. We don't see reality as it really is. We see reality as we see it through the filters of our beliefs. And so when we tell ourselves something along the lines of, I'm not good enough, which is a story probably everyone can connect with, because on some level and in some capacity, in some context, you probably haven't been at your best. You're just learning how to do something, or you've had some bad experiences and now questioning whether you're ever going to be able to get it right. All these things are unhelpful when it comes to living our best life. And it's important that we look at the stories that we're telling ourselves and forget about truth. Just get rid of the whole idea of what's true and what isn't true, because you're never going to really determine that until years go by and you look back. Then you can see what was true and what wasn't. What's ahead of us is prediction. And I could be wrong as often as I'm right. I've proven that to myself over and over again. And so, no matter how firmly I believe something is going to play out a certain way, it has nothing to do with really how it's going to turn out. Well, maybe it has a little bit to do with it, because I think if you do think positive, you got a better shot that things are going to work out more good than bad. So, in that sense, yeah, it may play a little part in it, maybe a little more than a little part in it. My point is, it's these stories that we tell ourselves. And so often it's along the lines of, I'm not good enough, I'm not as good as, they're better than me, I can't compete, all of these different thoughts that we're thinking. Or when it comes to riding a horse, there's two main reasons why people usually get a fear. Now, it could be a multitude of reasons, but the two most common ones are they fell off and got hurt, or they took a long break and their comfort zone has shrunk. And that's usually what happens in terms of where the genesis, where the start of this idea that they're afraid when they ride. And and some of it has to do with age as well. The younger we are, the more fearless we tend to be. When we get older and maybe have some life experiences that didn't go our way, maybe life's beaten us down a few different places along the way. If we focus on them, and typically that's what we do as humans, we focus on the negative so we don't repeat our mistakes, it's setting us up to be limited. It's not setting us up to be our best possible version of ourselves. And that really is a game changer. None of us can predict the future or determine the future with any degree of certainty. But I do believe that if you have an attitude that you're capable, you have an attitude that things are going to go well, you have an attitude like, I got this, I'm going to nail it, chances are you're going to do better than if you're walking up and doubting yourselves, uncertain, and really getting yourself into a panic because of what you're thinking, which is so often the case. The point I'm trying to make is that it really behooves us. It really is in our interest to monitor our thoughts, because from our thoughts come the dialogue that we have with ourselves. And that's what sets up the belief that we're seeing the whole world through. And whether you're seeing the world through rose colored glasses or crap colored glasses, that's going to determine to a large extent. There is something really true about a self fulfilling prophecy. If you think it, overthink it, it's more likely to happen. And that's good or bad. So, what do you want to do with that? The obvious thing is to notice what is slanted towards the negative and upgrade those thoughts. And it's really easier than you might think. And hypnosis makes it even that much easier to program positive thoughts and beliefs into our psyche, because again, we're seeing everything through the filter of our beliefs. And that's what makes it so important. That's what makes it so critical. And that's why it's really worth, number one, paying attention to what it is you're believing and thinking and saying to yourself. And number two, upgrading it to a better thought, a better belief. A lot of people feel like they're victims. They can't do anything about it. That is so untrue. That is so untrue. And I know that a lot of people just don't know how to do that. In some of these videos going forward, I'm going to address that because whether you reach out to me and decide you want to work with me and get some improvements in your life or fix some things that aren't going well, most people aren't going to do that. Most people are going to do it on their own. I get that because I'm sort of the same mindset. I really want to set you up that I'm not telling you to believe everything I say. I'm telling you, try it out. Try it out and see what happens. Tom O'Ryan, equestrianhypnocoach.com.